Welcome back to the show. Many thanks for staying with us. The devastation caused by the annual spillage of the Bagre Dam appears to be low-key on the agenda as President Akufo-Addo hosts his Burkina counterpart Christian Kabore on a 3-day state visit. In parts of northern Ghana, hectares of farmlands have been submerged, food, tons of them produced, destroyed. Bridges and roads have been destroyed and some persons have been killed, including pregnant women, due to the Bagre Dam discharge. Well, today, President of Ghana and Burkina Faso, where the dam is spilled from, have been meeting. President Akufo-Addo confirmed that some discussions have taken place on ways to permanently deal with the Bagre Dam problem.
Create solid solutions to it. It's been an annual problem that we should have dealt with some time ago. There's always a time for dealing with matters. But generally, the visit of President Kabore here has been very fruitful. We have 2 or 3 important conclusions that have come out of it. One, the need for us in Ghana to step up and organize the Joint Commission for Cooperation. It's our turn to host it in Accra, and we're going to do it before the end of the year. A meeting of the Volta Basin Authority, which about 6 countries in the region are members of. It's our turn to convene it. And definitely also that we've agreed upon quarterly meetings in the year between the 2 sets of ministers of our countries are dealing with the day-to-day concrete issues that we have to address. So, to sum up, a very good meeting, a very good visit, and I'm particularly happy that we've had the opportunity to entertain President Macron's Christian Kabore.
So that's President Akufo-Addo a while ago at that meeting there. Correspondent Elton Brobe, Correspondent Albert, I must say, is in the Upper East region. Hashmin Mohammed is in the Northern region, and Rafiq Salam is, of course, in the Upper West region. They'll join us shortly. But first, let's get details of this meeting from Presidential Correspondent Elton Brobe. He's joining us from the Jubilee House. Elton. We've lost Elton Brobe. We'll try and raise him back on the line. But let's go to Albert Sori in Upper East. Hello, Albert. Albert, can you hear me? Albert, we've had a meeting between the president of Ghana and that of Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is indeed where the Bagre Dam is, and the spillage, the annual spillage and the devastation that it causes here. You have reported on that several times, and it's like a broken record for you, I'm sure. Today, President Akufo-Addo has been meeting with the Burkina president. This matter came up, and it's just was sort of a flash from the president's speech. Has there been any responses from farmers there? Were they hopeful that this meeting would bring any lasting solution? Hello, Albert. It appears I'm having an issue with Albert. Sorry. Let's try this once again. Albert, can you hear me? Still issues with Albert. Sorry. Let's cross over to Hashmin Mohammed in the Northern region. Hello, Hashmin.
Yeah, hello, Gifty.
So there have been a couple of deaths, one of which you yourself, the loss of the baby in Nkrumah, which you went to report on. There have been a couple of broken bridges, all due to the rains, and of course, because the Bagre Dam was spilled. The people in these regions, were they even aware that the president of Burkina Faso is in Ghana, and what were their expectations of his visit?
Well, some of them are aware that the president of Burkina Faso is in Ghana, whilst others too are not aware of the information because of the bad networks over there, and some of them are hard to reach communities. So they are secondary receivers of information.
Right.
But at the same time, those who are aware that the Burkina president is in Ghana are hoping that the presidency will be able to reach an agreement with the authorities from Burkina Faso so that they can find lasting solution to the perennial spillage of the Bagre Dam. For some of them, they want government to find a way of turning that frustrations into opportunities for them because they are farmers, because the extent of devastation is very, very huge in these communities. And these communities are dotted around the white voter in the northern region here. And a lot of them are now finding it difficult to access health centers. They are finding it difficult transporting their goods from their community to market centers. Students are also suffering because there are a lot of students who have had admission under the double track system that has been introduced. But for some time now, they have not been able to cross to register themselves to participate actively in.
So what's the situation? What's the situation with the spillage now? Is it any better?
Well, the spillage, for now, the volumes of water is reducing, and at the same time, virtually every day we have rains. It may not rain in maybe, let's say, in Mapugu, Muaduri, but if you go to other districts, it will rain. So, and in so long as the rainy season continue, it is very difficult to say when the effect of the Bagre Dam village and then the rains itself will reduce the impact it is having on residents there.
Right. Hashmin, thank you very much for that update. Let's cross over to the Jubilee House where Elton Bobe is standing by for us. Hello, Elton. President Akufo-Addo says some fruitful meetings have been had between himself and his Burkinabe counterpart. He says they reached some important, and I'm quoting the president, important conclusions. But is the Bagre Dam a part of that important conclusion?
Well, they had a closed-door meeting. As for the closed-door meeting, that's where they spoke to the media about the many issues that they discussed. And he mentioned the Bagre Dam as one of the issues that occupied their attention whilst they had that 1-hour closed-door session. And I'm told that between the two countries, they committed to a number of MOUs, and the Bagre Dam is one of them. Now, we don't know the details yet, but what I've been told that there's a suggestion that Ghana can consider constructing a dam to collect the excess water from the Bagre Dam anytime the Burkinabe authority wants to spill the water from their dam. And it is something that the government of Ghana wants to engage the engineers to look at the feasibility of putting together this particular dam or any other means that can ensure that the excess water does not go into destroying lives and property and all that. The details, I'm told that in the days to follow, the ministries connected with this particular issue will have to meet together with their Burkinabe counterparts to see how they can deal with this particular matter. Now, as it stands now, Ghana is at the receiving end of this spillage, and it is up to the people, it is up to the government of Ghana to see how best they can make something good out of it. And from the conversation, they will hope to, step up this particular issue because they don't want to see the situation when next year the excess water is spilled and in its wake it leaves behind destruction to life and property. So that is the information that we have, but we don't have the details here. I'm sure that they've committed to an MOU. And the ministries connected will have to meet in the days to follow. And key on the agenda, or what I've been told, the key suggestion is the construction of a dam to collect the excess water from the Bagre Dam.
That sounds like a great idea. We'll follow that to find out how it goes. But Elton, did you get to understand the French that the Burkinabe president was speaking? What did he say?
You actually put him into the test, but there was actually an interpreter who helped us to understand the position of the Burkinabe president. Indeed, he came with two issues. The key one was a request to Ghana to extend electricity to parts of Burkina Faso. It appears that they have issues with electricity supply, and Ghana now produces, according to the energy experts who were with them, Ghana produces excess electricity, and they want to take advantage of this. And the request to the government of Ghana is to see the possibility of extending electricity to Burkina Faso. So and it's one of the MOUs that they signed. So that's also another issue. And then also transportation. The two countries coming together construct a rail line between Ghana and Burkina Faso to aid the transportation of goods. Already, because it's a landlocked area, they take most of their goods from the Tema harbor, and they have to travel all the way from Tema to Burkina Faso. The suggestion that they should step up the construction of the railway line so that those goods can be deposited at Buanka in the Asante region, where it can be transported to Burkina Faso, also one of the issues that he brought. So electricity supply and then the construction of a rail line between Ghana and Burkina Faso, those were the two issues that Burkina president brought. Okay. And Ghana also had the issue of the Bagre Dam spillage and its impact on the people in the catchment area and how best Ghana can take advantage of the excess water and put it into good use.
Very interesting, the electricity bit. I look forward to see how the discussions and the pundits and the political pundits especially go about it in the coming days. Elton, thank you so much for bringing us that update of that meeting. Let's end this discussion with Albert Sori, who's equally covered the devastation that the Bagre Dam spillage has had on farmlands there. Albert, is the situation any better now?
Well, the rains in this part of the country have reduced in the last few days. And, you know, it was one of the things that was further compounding the problem of the floods in this part of the country. So that has reduced it a little. But as for the destruction that has already been caused by these floods, I mean, the impact has been so great that a lot of the farmers have lost everything. They've lost everything they cultivated this season. Remember, on the first day they started the spillage, I spoke to one farmer who managed to get us to one portion of his farm which had not yet been covered in water. When we returned to the same place 2 days later, the whole place looked like it was a dam that was lying there. It didn't even look like
so he certainly lost everything on that part of the farm.
The situation, you know, as far as farmlands, destruction to farmlands in the Upper East region in particular, has been very massive. And a lot of the farmers are so shocked, they don't even know how they are going to recover from it.
Albert, thank you for that update. Let's get to speak with Charles Nyaba. He's the programs coordinator with the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, and they've been checking out the farms of some of their members in that region. Mr. Nyaba, thank you very much this afternoon. Were you aware that the Burkina Faso president is visiting Ghana?
Please, can you speak a bit louder?
Are you aware of the visit of the Burkina Faso president?
To be sincere with you, I've been in the field for the past 4 days.
Okay.
So, and the areas I visited, there is no network, so I've not.
Very well.
I don't have information to that.
Very well. Well, he has. But let's find out what you've been finding with your members. How bad is the situation? Is it getting any better now?
Yeah, I think it is because the rain subsided a bit. And I suspect that they have also paused the spillage. So apart from those farms that are already destroyed, there are no new reports of water damaging new farms again. So I think the situation is getting better. But those farms that were submerged are all gone.
Right. Well, that's a good thing then. But in the meantime, as I was saying, the president of Burkina Faso has been meeting with President Akufo-Addo here this afternoon. He's actually in the country for the next 2 days. He's on a 3-day visit. They had a press conference at which the president briefed the media that they've had a meeting. They spoke about Bagre Dam. We don't know the details as yet. What will be your own expectations of the sort of conversations that should go on between these two leaders, especially about dealing with the Bagre Dam spillage?
Thank you so much. Just like you said, we don't know the details of the discussion that went on between them. But to me, I think it's a good thing, and this should have been done long ago. Because if you look at the areas where we experience this spillage, all those areas have potential for both wet season farming and dry season farming. And because of limited water during the dry season farming, farmers are not able to actually produce their potentials. And you have cases where farmers from such areas move to southern Ghana to either do farming, where the youth also move to the cities to look for unexisting white-collar job. And then at the same time, during rainy season, we allow this water to rather cause destruction. So if the two leaders see the need to actually convert or to turn this water
we don't know. We don't know if they indeed had any concrete solutions to the problem. But as a representative of the peasant farmers, and you've seen the destruction finally, and please make it brief for me. What would you like to hear from the president after this meeting?
Yeah, I would like that the two leaders should come to consensus. On our part, we need to actually create channels where anytime they are going to have spillage, the water will run through those channels into dams that will be created. Then, for the part of the Burkina Faso, then they will also agree with our government that anytime the dam is getting full, there should be clear information on when they are going to do the spillage so that we're prepared to be able to receive these waters.
Right.
So for us, that's what we expect to hear done.
Okay, well, in the coming days, we'll be following to let you know if they did so. But thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Charles Nyaba there is the programs coordinator with the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana. The expectations, obviously, is that there are channels that absorb this water, that it doesn't go waste, and that we can actually make use of it. Not just does it go waste, it goes waste and it devastates farmlands there.